Well, like you rightly said, today's service, well, I think one of the things I believe you always take away from Pastor Poju's preaching is that he seems to have he seems to have that gift of letting you see how you can use the scripture as a spiritual tool, and more importantly, beyond making God your source, he also talked about the power of prayer
Yeah.
and how you tie it into fasting. And I think with the combination of that two, it really brings out it brings down the hand of God
Yeah.
on on whatever issue you want, God to enlighten you about,
Yeah.
or you want the Spirit of God to touch.
Yeah.
I think that's my take.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and we'll see you here next time.
Two things.
Oh, great.
One, the fact that I do not have to have unnecessary expectations of anybody. That has been the lesson over the years, and again, I've been reminded of that today. The very fact that my only expectation should be in God alone. Then two, the fact that there's a place for consistency in everything that we'll do, particularly when it comes to our relationship with God in the place of prayer. That again, I've been reminded of today. That the one who stays consistent, who keeps at it, is likely going to get the results. Those two things, of course, I've taken away again today.
Okay, yeah. One of the big things that he said that really struck me was the fact that it was really important to listen for God's instruction during a time of a fast. And I think also he talked about the fact that, well, what I took away was we needed to pay attention. Just pay attention and don't let it be like you've done 21 days, but just know that God has spoken to you, pretty much about 2020, and you've taken something very tangible away from the whole experience.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Shay. Sir, Mr. Jide, can you share your ideas?
Well, again, in line with what Shay has said, he said a lot of things about how crucial fasting was. Went back into into the Bible to dig out how in times of war, kings had committed and waited on God to take them out of out of danger. Without needing resources, without needing physical resources, but laying it on God. And there's a lot for me to learn from that. That I can commit any issues I have, anything I'm wanting for, any critical thing, through prayer and fasting unto God. That was a big learn for me today.
Yes, and one is a reinforcement of the importance of prayer and fasting, and how that's just very critical to our Christian walk generally, and how it's so powerful that it causes God to change his mind about things. So that really stood out for me, and of course re-emphasizing the importance of releasing people even after you've helped them and you feel like they owe you something, just letting that go and looking to God only as your source for everything.